All right, have not fans. I could have sworn I've done it. Well, no. I'm actually pretty certain that I did a video on this about why does it seem like no one on this show actually works? And I was at home for about half of Saturday, and then I came back Sunday morning. And my mom and I, of course, talking about the show. And she joked around. I was like, "Damn, when the last time we saw somebody go to work? I mean, some of these characters go to work, but I had to remind her in a way because I can definitely see why people ask that question. But you have to realize that a lot of these characters are pretty well off, so they don't have to work. Then on top of that, you have to consider the fact that not that much time has passed on the show. Only about a couple of months at best. But speaking of the main cast, I guess you could say, who do we know that's actually working? We know Madison at the hospital. Keisha, character who was just introduced, obviously works at the hospital. I think, needless to say, everyone in Charles's group, for his political campaign team, obviously on the job. Then from there, Broderick, Rocky, RK, they work at the Artesian Hotel. I mean, and then the Malones are, well, the Malones, hell, I mean, but they have the bar set up, so, they do their thing there, as well as other things from the shadows. And Derek is pretty much, like a contractor, architect, repairman, so he's always off doing his thing as well. But focusing even Justin, believe it or not, while he was still working at the police station before he got suspended and put under investigation, he was obviously on the job. It seemed like he was never out of his police uniform from the moment that Veronica exposed him and Jeffrey in front of his wife in court. So he was always working. So let's put it this way. When it comes to the main cast, and we're really going to just focus on the main cast for this video because a lot of people are asking the same thing. Why doesn't Catherine work? What about Veronica, David, and Jim? Benny, as we know, does not have a job. He was doing his tow truck thing, but then he lost everything when the bank foreclosed on it. That's why he jumped to the Malones for money, and now he's in the predicament that he's in, even though, as Mitch said, dude, take the $45,000 and get the tow truck. I mean, at best, you could just make your payments of $18K every 6 months. Remember, it was 3 payments of $18,000. 3 payments of $18,000. And if my math is right, it was $54,000 total. And he borrowed $45,000. So the interest on that would have been $9,000. So Benny, I can't really say for sure because I really don't know the towing economy of the city. But with him and Mitch working together, they could have made the money. And I get it. Mitch was there making money for himself so he can live off. But at the same time, he and Benny working together would have done great. Remember when they owned the tow company, they were getting all kinds of phone calls. But at the same time, they don't have the tow company anymore. But with the tow company out of commission, that doesn't mean they couldn't jump back into the tow game to make some money. So basically, because of that, he pretty much eliminated his possibility of getting it. Well, he eliminated his dream again of getting a, tow company business started. So he pretty much screwed himself. Hannah is, I'm going to save Hannah for last. Okay, let's do the easy one. Catherine is an heiress. Catherine is an heiress, meaning that she inherited millions from her father. She doesn't have a job. Moving on. Veronica is the owner of the rehabilitation center. So she pretty much amassed her wealth from that. But according to Catherine, she's actually in a lot of debt. And using her power at the bank, she can literally ruin Veronica's life if she so desired. So Veronica is kind of like a bending branch in the wind, so to speak, where, too strong of a, breeze and she could easily fall. So in a way, she has a business, so she's good to go. I mean, literally, she wasn't really in. She was also an attorney in the past, so there's that. You got money from that. Then the rehab facility, and of course, the rehab facility is a place where people work and they make money by doing so. Because going back to season 1, when Veronica showed up to check on Jeffrey to confront him about getting a girlfriend, Jeffrey said that wow, mom, what are you doing here? You only come down here if it involves a patient, showing that yes, Veronica Harrington owns the facility. So she has people that work there for her. And she comes down only when extremely necessary. So yeah, Veronica not really doing anything makes sense. She only got back into practicing law when Catherine convinced her to help out Hannah, who needed to get Benny out of jail after he got railroaded, thanks to David. So yeah, Veronica's mixed bag. David and Jim were judges, but they both stepped down to run for the governor's mansion. But even before, the money they made on the bench, we know from Jim's side of the woods, he actually ran a few successful businesses. Now, I don't know the extent of those businesses, how much money they accumulated, things like that, but he has money. And even Hannah said this back, well, actually Celine said this back in season 1, but then Hannah retorted, like, oh yeah, Jim has money, but not as much as Catherine. So yes, he has money, which could explain why, he pretty much convinced or even made Catherine give him back money after she said they're getting a divorce, and she gave him 10 million. So 10 million is a lot. Did he accumulate that much? I mean, I don't really know the going rate of how much judges make, but then you look at Philip Banks in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he made money, but keep in mind, that's not as much as Catherine, who obviously has a lot. So we know that Jim, Catherine, we know that David, Judge, Veronica, rehab facility. Jeffrey didn't finish his degree, but at the same time, he was working at his mother's facility, so he had a little money saved up, but not like enough to really live off of without a job. I mean, I would really like to see Jeffrey not only finish his degree, but get the help that he needs rather than trying to help those who really don't want to help themselves. Then Wyatt, of course, even Jim said when you were younger, what happened to that plan of yours, Wyatt? You said you're going to go to college, get a good job, but that all went away in a puff of smoke. So pretty much Wyatt has most likely never had a job in his life due to the fact he's probably been abusing for, since the Bible camp days. I don't want to assume he did drugs way back when he was a young teen, but probably started getting into self-destructive behavior. Amanda was in law school, but then she died. So that pretty much takes care of the half side of town. Then we move I think the last characters are Candace and Hannah. Candace conning people is how she got by prostituting, all that stuff. And she didn't finish law school because she didn't take the bar exam. And then as a result of that, she didn't take any more classes. Professor Cannon gave her that letter that said she could take the bar, and if she passed, boom, she's a lawyer. But that letter was taken away when Jim cleaned out her apartment. But then she tried to get a new letter, but this was after Professor Cannon was already dead. So she would have to go back to law school and finish her degree, which I honestly think she should because she has a lot of potential. We've seen her use her legal know-how in many situations. Well, not many situations, but in the few instances where we've seen her use it, it's been very impressive. And as even Hannah gave her vote of confidence that she knows Candace could be one hell of an attorney. And then we get to Hannah herself, and I have to say that I get it. Like, I mean, people right now, if you're listening to this video, you might have just gotten off of work, or if you're watching this early in the morning, you might be preparing for a day of work, and you just loathe, maybe the people you work with and or your supervisors or the people above you, but at the end of the day, you know what? You got bills. So you just, drink your coffee, get dressed, look at yourself in the mirror, read some scriptures, pray, go in there for the bull crap, do your shift, and clock out, because you know what? You got to keep the water running. You got to keep food in the fridge. Hannah is like, do I need to do like a video just counting down every time she's quit her job? Look, I know it's not funny because there have been plenty of times where she's quit under understandable circumstances, but at the same time, it's like, what are you going to do? Like, you have no money. You've lost your home. You don't even have a vehicle. Well, what are you going to do? I don't know. I get it. Like, I understand, like, some people rub you the wrong way and you just don't want to have anything to do with them. But at the same time, it's like, Hannah, what are you going to do? I just don't get it. I mean, bless her, because you know she was there for Catherine in season one during her breast cancer saga, if you will, and just Catherine for being a hell of a boss. You know, like giving Hannah days off. And you just, I mean, all the times, like, you know, Benny was in the hospital for the coma. Hannah lost her home. Hannah just found her grandchild and was trying to get him set up. And the list goes on. But damn, I mean, I will give Hannah props because she said in a more recent episode, I will take that job at the hotel. So she said she was going to work at the hotel. But literally, it would not surprise me that by the end of this season, I'm sorry, that came out wrong. It wouldn't surprise me by the end of this season if she quits that damn job too. I can't even. But at least we see her working when she does go to work. At least we see her working when she does go to work. But my gosh. So guys, I hope this explains it. And I see people in the comments saying this and that. Like when some person says something, another person stop asking dumb questions. Let's try to, you know, keep that down a bit, because it's understandable in a way, because it's been so long since we've seen any of the main cast actually working. Like at the beginning of the video, I actually listed off a bunch of the secondary characters. Hell, even Alice, when she was there, she was a maid for Veronica. But you have to realize it's the haves and the have-nots. The haves, for the most part, have money. I mean, Jim only has $3,400, so if he knows what's good for him, if Catherine is literally cutting him off and that inheritance money doesn't come back, he better put on that a gown and get the gavel and go back to court. Well, actually, he better not go back to court. The next time he might be in court is when he's on trial. Not to mention the Celine child support stuff. I mean, when's the last time he paid child support? The last time he spoke to Celine was when he said, you know, I want to get a lawyer and pay you the least amount of child support for our second child. But that's interesting. Maybe that will explain Celine coming back into the series at some point, because that is a very good question. When was the last time he paid child support? So but that's not to say she's not sitting on millions, because remember, he has been paying her a very large sum each month for possibly over 20 years. Then on top of that, you know, she's still living in the ghettos of Savannah, Georgia. So I'm under the speculation that Celine never really spent a red penny of that money and possibly only used her check as a maid, because she always thought Jim was going to come back to them and wanted to show that it's not about the money. Because she even told Wyatt that, unlike you, Carlos, you know, isn't a self-righteous, spoiled brat. He worked his way through school. And I'm just like, but didn't Jim pay you all this money through the nose each month? Not to mention, it's like, what the hell? So I'm willing to bet Celine is sitting on millions, which could explain what Jim will do for money. We'll have to wait and see. But with that being said, once again, I hope this answers the question. These characters, for the most part, don't have to work, but at the same time, some of them definitely need to get off their behinds and work, or they're going to be screwed. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and follow me on social media. If I'm not mistaken, we're about 15 followers away from 7,000 on Instagram, and less than 400 group members in the Haves and Have Not Review Facebook group from hitting 6,000 members. So yeah, just follow me on social media, and I'll talk to you soon. Congratulations on making it to the end of this video. If you like what you just saw, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, or if you have anything you would like to add to the video, make sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section below. If you want to keep up with me on social media, go to the description box. All of my links for social media are right there. Also, if you feel like you would like to donate to the channel, make sure to click on the link to PayPal. Any amount helps. $1, $5, $20. As a full-time YouTuber, any support from my fans really does mean a lot to me. Finally, make sure to hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification icon. That way you're kept up to date on any new content I post to the channel. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you in the next video.